All right, I'm here at PulpMX Classic Commentary. I'm your host, Steve Matthes, and with me to do the 03 Arnhem Supercross is...
Ferry.
Timmy Ferry, eating some almonds here at Trey Kennard's apartment. All right, Red Dog, end of 02. I'm your mechanic. We're going to Holland to check out this race. And it was kind of the first year of the World Supercrosses. And a little different deal. How'd you feel about going over there?
I was actually kind of a little excited because the first race here in the U.S. is always kind of a little bit hectic. So get the bugs worked out. It was kind of tough to get our bikes ready in time, but I was actually pretty excited. It was a fun trip.
Yeah, it was a real rush because it was the first 2 weeks of December, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was just kind of odd that not everyone did it. So
remember how cold it was? Jamie Little outside the arena.
I've never been to Europe when it wasn't cold.
It was really cold, wasn't it?
It was really cold.
Yeah. Okay. So we went to Geneva the week before, and that was a little tighter race than this. This was like a full-on Supercross, pretty much. I mean, the track was whatever. There it is. The track there. It's 4 lanes or 5 lanes. It was big. Dirt was soft.
Yeah, it was really it was like a marshmallow. The track was though.
Yeah. There's Bob Oliver. We were obviously factory Yamaha. We were like the only factory team there. So the promoters loved us, and the ESPN guys loved us, and we did all that.
I don't think anybody else really showed up besides us.
Villeman's got his 8 bars on there. Look at his bars. Yeah. So here's the series going up. Who was there? Langston was there. McGrath on a KTM, which we learned later didn't work out.
Langston was on a KTM, I think, as well.
Oh, there's Mike Williamson as Langston. Yeah, we were all kind of pitted like I don't know, some sort of gladiators or something.
No, this is what the privateers used to do, park like that.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. So yeah, and then what happened was there I am, Timmy, and there's you on the 450, and there's McGrath on a KTM. He was going to make it happen. This is highlights from the week before. This is Geneva. So McGrath wins the first heat, and we all just figure, hey, it's McGrath. Of course he's going to win.
He still looks pretty cocky and confident right there.
He does, doesn't he?
He's just kind of shrugging his shoulders in a little interview.
What do you remember about this track and this race? Do you remember much?
Geneva?
Yeah.
I just remember, I think it was it Tortelli and Chad colliding on the finish line?
Yep.
Kind of handed me a little podium. Villeman just ripping it up. He was really fast back then.
Yeah, he was. And remember, the crowd was freaking out. He was definitely the favorite.
I don't remember the crowd freaking out.
Okay, yes, you were riding.
Yeah.
Trust me, the crowd was freaking out. Reed's first year on a 250, and we knew he was going to be good because at the test track he was on it. You know, so we knew that he was going to be a factor. Obviously, he's turned out to be a great rider. But Tortelli's first year on Suzuki, I believe. And here's the start of the main event, or coming up here anyways, is the start of the main.
Ooh, not a good start for me. I was ready. I was a little back there.
Shocker. And you're up against 252 strokes also, and you're on a 450, and you're still not able to pull the starts that you need. But what about this bike? What do you remember about this bike?
03?
Yeah.
It was decent. It was better than the 02. The 02 was the 02 was a lot slower. So this bike was a little bit better. I actually rode this bike, fairly well. There was a few issues with it, but
no, we had some carburetor problems.
Yeah, we don't want to talk about that. But
okay, we don't.
Well, we can't. This is a pretty good crash.
Yeah.
Chad said it was Tortelli's fault. I think Tortelli said it was his fault.
Look at dragging the bike along with him, and of course Tortelli.
That's me.
Yeah, and I believe. Do you get second?
You know what? Actually, I want to say me and Chad had a bet. Ooh, wow, sorry about that, Tortelli. I was just looking on my inside to make sure he wasn't going to clean me out.
Yeah. Checking it out.
We had a bet, me and Chad, this weekend. Whoever beat each other the next weekend in practice, they had to wear each other's jersey. And he actually did wear my jersey. I was the only bet he ever followed through on.
He wore it the next weekend?
Yeah.
There's DV with hair.
He hadn't dyed still, though.
Did he? Is that a dye job?
I think he was already gray.
He won. DV won. You got second. Langston got third. And my first race as a factory Yamaha mechanic, and I was 1 for 1 in the podiums. So I was well on my way to success.
This was the peak. From here, it went kind of downhill.
It did go downhill from here. Second place. And then so the 1 week later, we all traveled during the week. You took a train All of us took a bus.
Well, no, I actually went with the bus. We all went on the bus.
No, you didn't. You traveled with Reeds on a train.
That was from Bercy. To Arnhem. Me and Reed went in our rental car, stopped at a bunch of little small towns and someplace he lived when he raced in Europe.
All right,
but no, we all went on the back of the bus. Remember, we were the only guys awake yelling and Jimmy Perry and
and we were laughing and joking, telling stories. Yeah. So it was real bonding time for everybody, like all the riders, all the mechanics, everybody was together. Live Nation did a good job of, arranging all the travel and all that, and it was kind of cool. And then we went from Geneva to Holland. And I remember I racked up a lot of money internet usage in Holland. I didn't think I got a really good deal from the hotel. But
what were you looking at on the internet?
No, I was probably just looking at hockey scores, to be honest. Arnhem was interesting in the fact that
the most interesting thing is you couldn't get nothing to eat in the middle of the day.
Really?
Everything was closed. So we bought like sandwiches 5 at a time and ate them for breakfast, lunch, and dinner because
Look at the big 1.5.
The food was horrible.
And there I am, and no doubt the bike's running to its perfection right now. This is heat number 1. Hey, when McGrath switched to KTM, did you think it would be a disaster? I mean, what did you kind of think at the time?
Honestly, I thought he was McGrath, and I thought it just wouldn't change anything.
Really? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
And I think he actually rode, pretty decent. I think he just kind of got a little burnt out maybe or something.
He crashed a whole bunch. I know that for sure. Look at this start by the 1.5.
Yeah.
Sticking it in there against Ryan Clark, 37.
This reminds me of Supercross a little bit.
It does. Takes me back. There's McGrath chasing Ferry, and really that's what happened in Supercross.
Yeah, it is.
Look at this start. You don't pull hole shots normally. Look at that muffler, too. Look how big that is.
I pulled a lot more hole shots than people give me credit for.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. Big crash off the start. So here you go. MC's chasing you.
And these 4-strokes were hard to ride when it was ruddy and soft like this.
Talk about, this is a steel-framed, carbureted 4-stroke. How much better in 2010 are the EFI aluminum frame 4-strokes than this bike?
You know
what I mean? Is it even is it a 50%
better
bike? You know what I mean?
Put it this way, if you had both of them in your garage, you would never ride that one.
I guess that's all you need to.
That would be it would be in a museum.
Right. Bikes have come a long way since this bike.
Yeah, nowadays the bikes are so good. They don't hesitate. Back then the 4-strokes hesitated a lot.
Yeah.
Especially in Supercross, you had to be real careful with them.
Yeah, for as much as people say as these things worked awesome in long whoop sections and off the start, there was like that on off right there was probably like a real dangerous thing for you. You had to make sure you were in the right range.
The problem with the 4-stroke then was you couldn't land on top of the tabletop and just like hit the throttle because it would hesitate. You had to land, let the suspension go down, come up, and then accelerate. So you really couldn't be that aggressive.
Right.
But it turned really, really good. That was one plus.
Really?
Yeah, well, because it still had engine braking.
Oh, yeah, okay.
You could just lay it into the turn.
You could get in there deep.
Still ahead of McGrath here. This makes me feel so good.
Yeah, I mean, this is MC. This is, a year before this, he was getting worked. Oh, no, wait. No, he was getting worked all year in 02.
I worked his relative term.
Well, he was a top 10 guy, but he had struggled in 02. Remember, it was arm pump with
It was
the gloves.
arm pump. He kind of pulled it together at the end, but...
Right. But I mean, no offense to you, Timmy, but Ryan Clark's running third right now. No offense to Ryan Clark, but...
Yeah, it's true. Ryan Clark was actually pretty good at certain times.
Right.
So, why you want to throw him under the bus like that?
Do you remember going out for practice and seeing the 125 guys? That guy cased the triple, and you could see his linkage, his swing arm, and his foot pegs into the dirt.
The only thing I remember about practice here at this race is it was so soft. I actually crashed and cut my shin open. I had to go to the hospital.
Really?
And
I don't remember that.
Yeah, so they super glued me together. But my leg hurt so bad, but they wouldn't take an X-ray.
Really?
They would not take an X-ray. They said I didn't need it.
I do not remember that. Why don't I remember? I like to pride myself on the fact that I know a lot of.
You were at the bar drinking, and I was in the hospital.
I was probably struggling to work on your bike to make sure righty tighty, lefty loosey. But from the week before, I was pretty much on cloud 9 at this point. Here's Tortelli, and I don't know if he's got to be on an RM250, not the 4-stroke. Tortelli it was weird. Tortelli was better this year in Supercross than ever, and then missed all of outdoors because he got hurt riding outdoors, which is normally the opposite. You know, what do you think of Tortelli as a Supercross rider? Were you ever worried about him?
No, I never really was worried about him in Supercross. Outdoors, he was excellent.
Right.
But even outdoors, he never was really healthy the whole time. So
Yeah.
never really showed his true potential.
Yeah, I did a podcast with him, and it's he was scary, the number of injuries that he had at different times. You know, he actually he was leading the points one year over RC for a long time and got hurt. We never know what might have happened, but you know he could match him that way.
The amazing thing I remember about him is, on a certain day, if he was on, you know, there was nobody that could beat him. You know, not even RC. So
Yeah, no, exactly. This is already near the end of. I think he would ride one more year after this in America, and then that would be it, maybe. Thor gear, just like you, Thor teammate.
yep, actually, a lot of Thor riders here. There's, Thor really they got behind that World Supercross thing because Parts Unlimited was a
Oh
was a
yeah,
sponsor.
maybe that is why Langston went too.
No, it is. Yeah,
Yeah.
they you know, they kicked in quite a bit to help us, you know, get over there and do
They
that.
did?
Yeah,
Parts Unlimited?
I think so. Yeah.
Wow, who knew? Here you are. You're still winning. McGrath's second. I remember you were riding, but as a mechanic, we were in the stands going on our radios. McGrath's down. McGrath's down again, and like we'd never seen him crash so many times.
Dude, I'm shredding right there. I'm not gonna lie.
Wow, someone's a little happy. Yeah, no, you were on it. The muffler is so long off the back of that bike because
We had a GYTR muffler. Huh?
Yeah, we had to do FIM rules too, so they were much quieter than America. And I could have taken that muffler off and like hunted down a grizzly.
I remember we joked about this. I retired the king here in this heat race.
We did?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah,
It's bad
that's kind
karma
of
to
bad.
do that.
Yeah, it is kind of bad karma.
We did. We said that?
Yeah. This is a joke though.
Yeah, no.
Because he really never really raced much after this.
No, he got hurt, dislocated his hip back in America after this race, and I don't think he raced Anaheim 1. I think he was
Nope,
he
that
announced
was
his
it.
retirement, right? So he was done by then. So he raced the KTM 2 races, and this is one of them. And there's Timmy Ferry taking the checkers.
Ripped it.
And as a mechanic, right now I'm already counting my bonus money because I know this is gonna be a good night. I mean, you just killed the king, you know. So you won. Look at those names as Skaggs, Pavolny, Ted Campbell, some privateers right
Joaquin
there.
Rodriguez.
Oh, I liked Joaquin. He was a good rider.
A little scary sometimes.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He was pretty good. at
You're looking a
times.
little puffy there
I'm not gonna lie. I was a little overweight. I was still pretty
compared
good.
to what you are now.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, you're
Yeah.
retired now.
I was training a lot, but I was eating a lot. So
And you're telling Cameron Steele, bro, dude, big pile up. Look at that.
that bike was really heavy compared to those two strokes. I remember also.
Oh, yeah. We were, as a mechanic, we were down to, if I remember, that's your Motocross the Nations helmet, wasn't it? That you were wearing?
I was running it.
No, your World Cup. The World Cup.
Well, it was a World
helmet.
Cup, yeah.
Right.
It was World Cup.
The weight limit was 217, and we were,
Oh, Larocco was there.
oh, yeah.
Andrew Short.
Andrew
Oh,
Shore. What's he
man.
going to do, huh? Who's he going to be? 41,
Andrew
Andrew Shore,
Short?
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Trey Kennard's number. Look at Jean-Sebastian
Lewis.
Waugh, Pride of Canada.
Damon Huffman.
Damon Huffman, yeah. Moto Triple X, right?
Yeah, it might have been. Yep.
Back to the weight limit thing, though. 217, the weight limit for 250s. I believe we were 228.
Yeah.
You know, we were like 10 pounds over the weight. And I believe all these things, all the 252 strokes were pretty much on the limit. So here we go, main event. There's Billy, fresh off his Geneva win.
Shark helmet.
Hey,
I'm at the top. So my heat race was faster then.
Yeah, okay, Timmy.
Okay.
All right, good job. One of the things that I can talk about, and maybe get your take, though, how much rivalry was there between you, Reed, and Villeman? You know, like, nobody on the team knew who was better. You guys were all pretty equal. You know, Reed would go on to win a lot more races than you or DV this year, but at the time, there's no pecking order.
Yeah, you're right. At this point, it was.
You guys were all pretty equal.
Yeah, there was. I didn't really know who was gonna pan out to be the number one guy in a team. So
Yeah,
obviously, Chad ended up being that guy.
right.
But in Supercross,
Yeah. But you know how much rivalry was there? Like, so day in and day out. Like, I remember the stopwatches were coming out a lot. And us mechanics were talking a lot of shit. But
well, Jimmy Perry always had a stopwatch out.
he did. But I mean, did you Did you hide? Oh, here we go. Main event. Let's get going here.
Why do you want to stir it up?
Gate drops. I'm a little late on the gate drop one, but anyways, Timmy, you didn't get the start you needed. There you are. You really needed a start. You didn't get it. Oh, the 22's out front. There you are. 6th.
Oh. I don't even know.
What happened here?
Right there.
There's Andrew Short.
Yep. He's got a Kawasaki, huh?
Who?
Andrew Short.
He's on a Suzuki.
Oh.
It's yellow.
I'm colorblind.
Okay.
This was kind of really Reed's kind of breakout moment on this bike, or in the big class.
The only thing we knew that before the season was that Reed was maybe going to wad up, but then we realized he always just revved it to 16 grand in the air. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, he did rev it a lot back then.
That was just his thing. And there's the Rock. And as we do this, we're about 5 hours away from seeing the Rock at the Honda track as the Geico team manager.
Yeah. Yep.
So, yeah, Reed was on it. And you know what? Voss. Voss is not the boss right there.
Clark.
Ted Campbell's down.
Ted Campbell.
The Shadow. Here's
DV.
Billy.
Oh, yeah.
DV.
DV was really good this year.
He was until he broke his back. Remember, he broke his
Yeah.
back at Daytona. But DV was right in there, right in the mix for sure. I don't remember Reed and DV like being way faster than you at the test track beforehand. You know what I mean? Like that's why I say it's kind of a rivalry. We didn't know what was going to happen.
Yeah, no, I think once we got the test track, everybody was pretty close.
What happened at the opener? You got third, didn't you?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I think you got third at Anaheim.
I think I crashed out of this race, but I don't.
No,
remember.
you don't.
I don't.
No, sorry to ruin it. But we do wonder if DV can catch Reed. I mean, DV was the winner the week before, and we knew Reed was fast, but it was just a matter if he can keep it on 2 wheels, and if he had 20 laps in him or whatever. We didn't really know for sure.
I had rode with him. Reed was actually at my house not right before we actually went over there. I think we left from Florida to go there, so I've been riding with him. I knew how fast he was.
Yeah. Did you foresee him being as successful as he was the next few years? I mean, did you think that fast?
Yeah, I would have to say you can kind of tell.
Right.
Yeah, really good timing and everything for Supercross, and
but then
he really loved Supercross.
But then he pissed you off a whole bunch.
Yeah, we
at
had
your
our
house.
yeah, we definitely had our.
I don't know how much you want to get into that. Let's make fun of him.
We had our moments.
How about when he revved his bike up and the tranny locked
the tranny
up?
locked up, just launched
laid
it
rubber on your garage floor, your really nice garage floor.
Yeah, I wasn't too happy about that.
And if you remember Langston, there's 111 Langston. He crashed out of almost every race once it got back to America. San Francisco flew over the berm.
He did crash out a lot.
Yeah, he did. He was not ready, and it's funny. It took him to drop back down to the lights class.
Yeah, went back to PC bike and then worked his way back in again.
Although you could maybe say he never really did get a 450 Supercross.
I don't think that bike, that KTM he was riding, was very good though.
No. Funny story.
Didn't help him out at all.
Funny story that Langston told me, or maybe MC told me, when they rode a bike, a KTM 252 stroke, that was awesome and bitchin', and McGrath signed his contract, and the bike showed up, and they were like, hey, what happened to that bike? And the KTM guys were like, oh, yeah, we scrapped it. We don't have enough money to make it. It was an all-new frame, an all-new deal.
Oh, man.
And MC and Langston says that him and MC are looking at each other going, huh? Like, what happened to our bitchin' bike? So they kind of felt a little betrayed.
Do you really think it was that good?
I don't know. Yeah, I have no idea. It's just the story.
If you were going to guess.
No.
Okay.
It had a linkage. It didn't have a linkage. I mean, I think in Supercross whoops, those things really struggled. And as you can see, Langston popping
How
up
big
and
is
down.
that chest protector that Tortelli has on? That thing's gigantic.
I think the Rocco might have him covered in his own. Look at that thing. It's not good right now. There's the Rock. There you are.
Ooh, here I am.
Pressuring the Rock.
My one set of blue gear for the whole year.
Oh, yeah.
MC's back behind me again.
Yeah. Dude, you're the bane of his existence.
I think he might pass me in this race.
Were you a little worried about LaRocco at times going into him? Because you guys had a little bit of a rivalry. Did you ever think like that when you followed up to him?
No, I never worried about Mike. We always just seemed to run into each other.
That's what I mean, though. Like,
but I never worried about him taking me out or anything.
Uh-huh.
He had this persona that he was an intimidating, mean guy, but he was really never that way.
Yeah. Who did worry you? Who was going to come get you? Even around this era or
if
later?
if I was racing him, Langston would make me nervous. Tortelli and Supercross just.
But Tortelli not on purpose.
No.
Tortelli's going to take you out, but it's not going to be on purpose.
No, he's probably going to take himself out at the same time.
Yeah.
I can always judge my competition. So I always knew when to leave the door open or not.
Right.
I knew who it was. So I never really got cleaned out by anybody and go, man.
Did you ever feel like writing Ernesto Fonseca an apology letter from this year?
No.
Okay. All right.
That's what we're doing. We're at a race. And you got to pass. Sometimes the tracks are tight and you got to bump people. I never knocked them down.
It seemed like you made room a lot for him.
No, Ernesto was just a really good starter, and he rode a wide bike. And he was just hard to pass. He was just that was just his that was his deal. He got good starts. He was hard to pass, and he was always in pretty good shape. He trained pretty hard, so you had to be aggressive with him.
Why do you think? Why would Reed rev his bike so much in the air? What was the deal all about? What was that deal?
I think he did it a little bit, and then everybody talked about it, so he just kept doing it. Because eventually he actually stopped.
Did he?
Yeah.
Okay. He was ridiculous, right? He would just be like, whoa!
I think he was just doing it just to kind of mess with everybody.
Okay. Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. How about when DV and Reed got in that fight at test track over the water?
Over the water, and then DV threw his helmet.
What happened? Reed overwatered?
I don't know. I think Reed turned the water on while he was riding and doing a moto.
And DV got in, threw his helmet, got changed in about 5 seconds, and squealed off on the test track. And we put his helmet on top of the fence as like a reminder, like a skull or something.
And I actually wasn't there that day. I just heard the stories, and I came the next day.
Right.
The track was muddy again for some reason.
Uh-huh.
And that was the day Chad was roosting him.
On purpose.
On purpose.
Right.
So.
Can I ask why you can go out and dominate Heat 1 and now you're struggling in 5th? Can I ask what happened?
Well, I told you I was a little bit overweight. And I think maybe I just wasn't that good a shape or something.
I just don't get how you can just dominate like that.
You know, what I always noticed with that 4-stroke is if I got out front, I could ride really good. But if I was trying to pass people, I just always got wore out a little bit more.
Right, trying to do different stuff.
Yeah.
Trying to.
If you got into a real good rhythm, you were fine. But if you got out of that rhythm, that bike was it was a lot more to ride.
You know what was funny was the next year Yamaha wanted Villeman to ride one, and he wanted nothing to do with it. And I think even Reed, they wanted Reed to try one. He wanted nothing to do with it. You switched back to a 2-stroke because of some different reasons. Here we are, 7 years ahead, and you would never think about not riding a 4-stroke. But 7 years ago, it was very much up in the air.
What is that guy doing?
I don't know.
Who?
That's Ted Campbell.
Man, get out of the way. Oh, man. Well, that's probably what happened to me right there. I lost the guy in front of me.
Right. And there's Reed shredding. The
Yamahas were really good this year.
Yeah, you've gone on record as saying that switch to the aluminum frame was a bad idea on a YZ250.
I really thought that my 04 YZ250 was one of the best bikes I ever rode.
Right.
For its time.
Yeah.
It just did. Man, I could go into the whoops in 4th gear and just hold the thing wide open. It would just go straight.
Right.
And then when I went to 05 250 with aluminum frame, it was always, I had to be a little bit more cautious.
But Yamaha swore to us that the Japanese said this frame has the same characteristics as a steel one, like it's welded the same way. Like, you know what I mean? They took into effect the aluminum, but they made it feel like a steel frame. But you guys are like, yeah, bullshit.
Yeah, well, the Japanese, that's their favorite. The favorite line is to say it's the same but different.
Yeah.
And sometimes it would be, and then sometimes it just wouldn't.
Right. Look at Cobra's riding style too, just kind of weird still. He smoothed out on 4-strokes a little bit. Like he looked a little different, a little more normal on 4-strokes.
I just like how you could ride the Supercross or outdoor suspension on Supercross.
Remember how he used to sit on his bike and to take the air out of his forks?
DVD used to do a lot of weird stuff.
Can you imagine him as a team manager right now, just yelling at those guys?
Back in 03.
Let me tell you what I did. Look at Langston and Larocco going at it right now.
And they're just dropping me, it looks like.
I think they kind of are. There you are. You didn't triple in, I don't think those guys did.
Looks like we passed Tortelli.
Yeah, I don't know. Hey, look, Jean-Sebastian Waugh results in the upper corner.
See, look, the rock pass. That wasn't a bad pass.
No,
clean.
nothing wrong with that. What about Jean-Sebastian Waugh? What about him?
He was a pretty good rider. I rode with him a lot. He raced in Florida some.
Right. Canada's child, Canada's second
Yeah,
best
he's
ever.
no rollerball, but he's pretty
Yeah,
good.
you got that right. You got that right. Here we go. I guess we're going to show us maybe around town a little bit in the middle of the main event.
They always do that still today.
Do they?
They always show some kind of like downtown
Yeah, some sort of
picture.
deal. That's Reed's World Cup helmet, too. That's an Australian thing.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, that's the yellow and green or whatever.
Might have been the only ones we had.
Is that DV still behind him? No. He's yarded DV at this point. I remember Villeman telling us that it was okay that Reed beat him because Villeman hadn't peaked yet. That's what he said. Like, I'm worried about Anaheim. Don't worry, I'll be there. And then I believe, did Ricky crash out of this? No. I don't know. Reed won, I believe. I think Reed won.
The first race in
The
03?
very first race in 03.
I can't remember.
I can't remember either. Somebody will probably write me an email and correct us. But, I remember you and Reed's bike setup, very similar suspension, very similar motor. We would swap pipes and flywheels.
Yep.
And we would, and swap.
When we were on four strokes.
Yeah, on two strokes. Sorry. No, on two strokes. When you were on a two stroke. My bad.
Yeah.
The point of the whole thing is Villeman's setup was another way.
Yeah, he was.
FMF pipe, but that had a
He
different
did
power
have an
curve.
FMF pipe.
Different power curve, like on a dyno. When I dynoed it, it would look really different from your guys' pro circuit pipes and stuff. So, just DV being DV.
Yeah, he rode the bike completely different.
He was a gear higher, I think, a lot
Yeah.
of times. Really mellow, kind of just riding around a little bit. I don't know. Did you race? No, we didn't race the next year. The World Supercross in Spain and wherever we were. But
I think that was one Fonseca win that one. No, his bike broke.
yeah, something like that.
Privateer won that race.
Yeah, Daryl Hurley, Andrew Short's teammate in this. Motor World Suzuki was all muddy. But yeah, here comes the Rock. They're really showing the Rock a lot. And he has look, Langston's behind you now, so he went down.
Okay.
He's back there with
that or
McGrath right
the
now.
thing just kicked so much he finally got tired.
Yeah, exactly. I don't remember the Rock being there at all
I
until we
don't
just
either.
saw him in the heat race.
I didn't either.
I guess he was just yeah. I think Shane Drew worked for him this year.
The Rock was pretty good these few years.
Yeah,
Wow,
he
quite a
was
few,
solid.
but-
He would do the same 20 laps in one speed. You guys would go faster.
What do you think
and then
McGrath's
slower.
thinking right now?
I think he's thinking about how to get out of this deal.
He's
ASAP.
already working his magic.
Yeah, he really. There was a magazine cover that said he was going to be 2 seconds a lap faster or something on his KTM. But
I love when riders ride a new bike and are a second or two faster.
yeah, exactly. Oh, ambulance flag out. Wonder who that's for.
There's a lot of people in the stands there.
There is, and you know what? You can't see the track, but it is ruddy and beat up. I remember that. It was gnarly. Well, there you are.
I look like I'm just cruising.
Are you on a parade lap right now?
I'm just worried that 75's going to cut over like Ted Campbell was going to.
Dude, what are you doing?
I really don't think there's anybody in front of me or behind me. Oh.
Oh, down he goes.
I think the brake actually got stuck with
Oh,
mud.
here we go. Yeah, of course. It couldn't have been rider error, right? Couldn't have been. So now you got to get Langston again. He got by you. And there's Reed, and he's dominating this race. He's taking off. We felt pretty good as a team, although I was Team Ferry. I was also Team Yamaha. And, we went 1-2 in Geneva and 1-2 in Holland, beating Larocco and Langston, who we didn't know, and McGrath we didn't know at the time wouldn't be a factor. But we left thinking, hey, our bikes are good. We're on point. Our guys are good,
Yeah, that was kind of our reason for kind of going there, to make sure everything was good. And I mean, I think it was a good move.
Yeah, no, I agree. And also, too, Jimmy told me, too, 3 new mechanics on the team. Gothic J was our test guy.
Yep.
Dave Dye was Reed's mechanic. I was your mechanic. New suspension guy. Corey.
That hole looks bad. Did you see him
No,
land that hole?
I didn't see. I was looking at you, telling how we had all new people at Yamaha.
Yeah, there was all new guys. I had to beg Jimmy Perry to get you hired.
I know. He wanted to hire Delorier. Probably should have. Jimmy Perry told me on the third day I worked there that he did not want to hire me, which is an awesome way to start a new job. To tell that guy that you didn't want to hire him, but that Tim Ferry really pushed for you. Well, because I got screwed at Chaparral. I did.
Yeah.
I did a good job for you in 99. They gave me the truck, the Mazda truck, and then they fired me because budgets.
They took the truck away and then gave it to me.
And they took my truck away and gave it to you. And so, I mean, I did get screwed at the end of 99. So it was cool that you brought me back. I appreciate it. We were friends. And, I mean, I'd already taken Kelly Smith to a Mount Morris victory. So you knew that.
You could do it.
Yeah, you knew I could do it. But anyways, final lap here in Arnhem, Holland. And Reed's out front, cruising right now. And
I think me and Reed have the same gear on.
yeah, no, you guys had the same. I mean, he bitched about that blue stuff. You would have thought that, I don't know, you would have thought they made him wear, and Reed wins. You would have thought that they made him wear like pig's heads, severed pig's heads, the way he acted about wearing blue gear. Like it was the biggest deal to him ever. He was not happy. And remember, I think when his contract came up, they renegotiated. He could wear red every fourth race or something, or another color every fourth race.
Some special.
Dude, I've never seen anybody care about the color of gear so much like that. But well, what did you think? Did it bug you? You had to wear blue?
I didn't really care. I was worried about other stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
As long as the check was on time, I was good.
That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, there's Dave Dye, there's Reed. Billy pulls up. Soon later, they'd be roosting each other and throwing helmets at each other. Only a few months after this. There's Dave Dye, Reed's mechanic. Working with him was quite an adventure.
Dave Dye, he's a good guy.
He was your mechanic for a little while. Look at Ferry, 6th.
Not
backing up that podium.
I thought I crashed.
Yeah. This was when Reed was still not sure if he was going to be any good. Later on this year, of course, we would go and hate each other, him and I. Because
I really think that in Reed's mind, he knew he was always going to be good. But
like at Yamaha Troy, did he act like he kind of was? Because Bubba was working him, but he was still, a second place guy, I guess. But
I think he didn't even like that 250 4-stroke he had to ride.
Yeah. Well, he had shopped for a 450 ride or a 250 ride, and he couldn't find one, right? And the only ride he could get was a Yamaha Troy.
Yeah, I guess that's how it worked. I think Bobby Moore is the one that got him over here.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd never even heard of him before until he got here. No, I'm not lying. I've never even heard the name before until I saw him at the test track riding for Yamaha Troy.
And you're like, who is this dude? 103.
Who is this guy?
Yeah, but he had gotten second in the GPs the year before.
Yeah, but at that time, the internet wasn't that popular. And,
right.
Unless you read all the magazines, how do you follow it?
After 2 rounds, here we are. Tim Ferry 4th. Villeman was winning for a while. Villeman would go on to break his back at Daytona and drop out most of the year. You would miss a bunch of races with being sick, and then outdoors you went all year. Yeah.
Yeah,
so
I went.
You missed some Supercross. You missed 4 Supercross
Budds Creek
that
first
year.
moto this year.
Budds Creek first moto, and then so it was a good year. I think you made 7 podiums out of 11 races outdoors.
Oh, was
Something like that. It was good.
Hey, 03 was good. I was happy with this year.
And Reed got second in the points. Remember, he won the last 6 Supercrosses, almost caught RC at the end. So it was a good year for Team Yamaha, and this kind of kicked it all off.
I just wonder how many years I was the only guy riding a 4-stroke.
Yeah, I don't know. 01? Right, you started 01?
01, 02. There wasn't even that many this year either. This is when they first started coming in the outdoors.
Right. There was pretty much you and all Honda 450s on the line for an outdoor national. But anyways, good times. That has been the PulpMX Classic Commentary, Arnhem 03. Thanks for doing it, Red.
No problem.